right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in ancient Paleo Hebrew. The Lashon Dash talking and say the Wakathum to the elders and apostles while Akim Akwaf and I say Shalom. And this is a sit down lesson as of June the 9th, 2026 on this 441 call Halal Yahweh Shai on this Tuesday afternoon. And this is a prophecy update as of June the 9th, 2026 on this Tuesday afternoon. And this is from the time of Israel, because ever since that helicopter, Apache of the United States helicopter was down, what was that, yesterday? And then it was a report, Iran, saying that they didn't target that helicopter. And then Trump was saying he was going to respond back, because at first I thought he was going to respond back as far as like economical sanctions or because it was a report that came out as well too. Because at first he was saying that we're going to about to respond back. Then he changed his mind at first. He was like, what? It's not that important, and then now you got right here, it says, updated 18 minutes ago, it says the U.S. military strikes Iran after a downing of a helicopter. A purportedly response, as CENTCOM describes the airstrikes as self-defense. Most likely, the Israel Defense Force, most likely Iran, they're going to do a self-defense attack as well too in response of this. It says the CENTCOM describes the airstrikes as a self-defense. The IDF says it intercepted Hezbollah rockets and fired at troops in South Lebanon. And I believe the Israel Defense Force, they did a response to those rockets, because Hezbollah was firing rockets in northern Israel, because you had Israel Defense Force was firing rockets in southern Lebanon, and Hezbollah responded back to that. And I believe they intercepted those rockets. It says the IDF says it's intercepted and Hezbollah rockets fired at troops in South Lebanon. Does he want to continue Trump misuse about whether Netanyahu will run for re-election? And it says 44 minutes ago, it says Lebanon reports 3 more unalive from the Israeli strike near Tigray. It says the IDF down Hezbollah rockets fired at troops in South Lebanon, triggering an early warning in Kiryat Samuel. It says 18 minutes ago, published by Emmanuel Fabin, a U.S. military strikes Iran after downing a helicopter in purportedly response. The American military says it has launched strikes on Iran in response to the downing of an American helicopter over the Strait of Hormuz. It says in a statement, the U.S. Central Command said it launched a self-defense strike. And most likely Iran, they're going to do a self-defense strike as well too, most likely. It says against Iran at the order of the U.S. President Donald Trump. It was in the response to yesterday's helicopter of a U.S. Army Apache helicopter. The mission is a purported response to unjustified Iranian aggression. Now, the Israel Defense Force, they're doing a lot of unjustified aggression as well too, just like the United States Army is doing a lot of unjustified aggression. And keep this in mind, 444 call Halal Yahweh Shai. Now, keep this in mind. You had Iran was blaming the Israel Defense Force, and the United States Army was violating ceasefires with these self-defense strikes. And it says the IDF downs a Hezbollah rocket fire at troops in South Lebanon, triggering an early warning in Kiryat Shmua. It says a rocket launched from Hezbollah troops in southern Lebanon in a short while ago was intercepted by air defense. It says the military says the launch triggered early warnings in Kiryat Shmua area. No sirens, though no sirens sound. So,
Hello, Moto.
This is the book of Luke 21 and verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun, and the moon, and the stars, and upon the earth expressive nations. What perplexes here and going, right? So we see in the signs of the sun, moon, stars that Yahushua spoke about. And then we see in the uptick of the nations are in perplexity. So we see a nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, wars and rumors of wars, modern day rule against modern rule, the uproars people rule. So that's going to continue to increase. And these war, evil, and the pestilence that Prophet Jeremiah was talking about. Now we see it in our world today. And this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and the uproars people will, right? So more increase in earthquakes and the uproars people will. Ecclesiasticus 3 and verse 1. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose in heaven. Right? So we are in these modern day times of seasons, and every purpose in heaven, which is modern day biblical times and signs of times. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus. Drop down a couple more verses. And this is verse 8. In a time to love, in a time of HATE, in a time of war and time of peace. Right? So we live in a time of war, in a time of HATE, which is that's only going to continue to increase. And this is the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. It's the book of Matthew, 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right, as we start to see the battle straight from moves start to heat back up once again, despite the fact Mirror 47 talking about the talks were progressing as they supposedly get into a deal. It seemed like that's up in the air. You know, you can't really trust Nero 47 what he's talking about all the time. You know, especially nowadays. And especially with these self-defense strikes. Especially with these military self-defense strikes that the Israel Defense Force, the United States, been doing towards the pro-Iranian groups and the Iranians, and the increasing battle for square for moves been heating up back and forth with them, despite the fact amending reports of putting forth the escalated tensions. Matthew 24 verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right, while you still got the Russia-Ukraine situation still intensifying on a daily basis. It says you should hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? Thailand versus Cambodia, that might heat back up. Tensions heating up over there in Myanmar. Tensions heating up over there in Congo. Tensions heating up different parts around the world. And tensions are still heating up between China and Taiwan. China versus Japan. China versus the Philippines. These Southeast Asian countries still heating up. So that lets you know, hey, these are signs of wars or rumors of wars that Yahushua spoke about 2,000 years ago. Now it's being shown forth in these times. It says, Matthew 24 and verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, it's going to come to pass, but not going to end just yet. Matthew 24 and verse 7 reads the Holy Scriptures. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, right? Pakistan versus Afghanistan. What's that? North Korea versus South Korea, Japan, United States. China versus Taiwan. What's that? Russia versus Ukraine. Iran versus the United States armies. Iran versus Israel. The pro-Iranians against the Israel Defense Force.
Hello.
This is Matthew 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, which goes into Ephesus. Because we still going to be seeing more and more other nations and kingdoms are rising against one another that Yahushua spoke about. And so they're going to continue to increase. It says there shall be famines, right? Famines are increasing on a daily basis. And pestilence and earthquakes in various places. So this was just a quick sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates that I want to bring up as of June the 9th, 2026 on this Tuesday afternoon. So hopefully this is edifying of the prophecy updates. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Bahashem. In the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, those are the true names in ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Holy tongue. And I say Barak Thumb to the elders and apostles with Akia with Aqua. Until next time, I would say Cornell Sharala, Ball. Shalom.